Today I'll be talking about something that could only happen to me, and it is, by the title you can see, about the time that I got catfished by my best friend and my crush. So to set the scene, this happened between me, my best friend India, my other best friend Alex, and the guy that I liked, which was called Connor. I won't be changing any names because I hate you. So this happened 2 summers ago, and it was a couple of months before I was supposed to start uni. So me and my friendship group, we were very close. We were all best friends, and Connor was kind of like a friend of a friend, but he would hang out with us all the time as well. And it got to a point where me and Connor started getting to know each other more, would text a lot, and we just got on really well. And at the same time, India and Alex were getting to know each other better as well. So we were just like, let's double date, like, why not? So the first red flag for me was the fact that Connor was very nice to me over text, like overly nice, but in real life he wouldn't really be the same. So me being the person that I am, thought maybe he just is shy. Maybe he's one of those people who just talk better over text. So I never really thought about it. So one night I was working and I get this text, and it says something like, hey, I really like you. It's really bad that you're going to uni because I do really like you. Let's stay together when you go to uni. And at this point, I only saw it as kind of like a summer fling. Ironically enough, I thought, I don't want to shoot him down. I don't want to hurt his feelings or trample on them. He's just told me how he felt. So I texted him back saying, I really appreciate that. Let's see how things go. Keep in mind the fact that I didn't want to hurt his feelings by saying no. It got to a point where I almost started to think it was a joke. He would give me compliments, and those compliments would be laid on so thick that even I got embarrassed reading them. So me and my best friend India one day decided we should all go on a double date. So we texted them and we were like, hey, let's do something today. And they were like, oh, sorry, we've got no money, we can't do anything. So we were like, okay, let's just spend the day with each other, let's go shopping. So me and India went shopping. So after we'd gone shopping, we sat down, had some food, and I checked my phone, scroll through Instagram, and I went on Snapchat. And I see both of Alex and Connor's Snapchats, and they're together, and they went for food, and they were spending the day together. Why would you say that you don't have any money when clearly you do? We said to them, hey, like, why would you say you don't have any money when it looks like you do? They replied saying, yeah, we just decided last minute we wanted to do something. We're going to a fair with the others being the rest of our friendship group. So we were furious. We were just like, why are you lying to us? 2, they're our friends too. Why are we being left out? So that's the second red flag. So we were very angry. We didn't want to talk to them anymore. And that's when they were like, oh no, we were joking. We weren't really gonna go, blah, blah, blah. We forgave them and they decided to take us on a date. I use the word date very loosely because it was not a date. They took us to the middle of nowhere. The idea behind it was nice. It was supposed to be stargazing, and it was on this hill overlooking the whole of town, and it was a very nice view. Watched the stars, but it was very cold. We sat on this hill with no blanket or anything. Alex and Connor were sat together like this, and me and India were huddled together because we were so cold on this hill. And one of them whips out a phone and starts going on the Netflix app, and they start watching Netflix together, cuddled up together, while we're sat next to them like, are you gonna cuddle us? They start watching this thing on Netflix, and we're kind of like, what is happening? What are we supposed to do? So we just start chatting to each other. They were so absorbed into their Netflix show that they didn't even listen to what we were saying. So I said to her how weird it was, how Connor was so nice to me over the phone, but then in real life he wasn't really. And that's when India was like, yeah, me too, like Alex is the exact same thing, like he's so talkative over the phone when we text, and so nice, but when we see each other he's got nothing to say to me. I was like, what kind of stuff does he say to you? And she starts telling me all the compliments he gives her. So we start to compare texts, and we realise they've been sending us the exact same texts, word for word, copied and pasted to each other. So at this point we're still not seeing the light. Oh, maybe they just didn't know what to say, so they just shared what the other person was saying. So Alex had texted India the exact same thing, saying, I really want to be with you when you leave for uni too. So then their phone runs out of battery, and finally we can go home, we can leave, I can go to bed and be warm. So the next day I text Connor and I'm just like, hey, like, do you want to go to lunch? Just the two of us. And he texts back immediately being like, never mind lunch, let's go to dinner. I want to take you out. Like, it was that cringy. I was trying to be lighthearted about it, and he was the one being weird. So I was like, yeah, cool, that's fine. And then later on, he texted me again. He was like, hey, do you want to do something with Alex and India? And I was just like, I kind of just want to spend time with you. You don't really talk to me when they're around. And he ended up persuading me to go and do something with them, saying that we'd go to dinner alone after. I think we just went to India's house and watched a movie or something. So then Alex was dropping me home and Connor was walking me to my door, and I was like, so when are we gonna go to dinner? And he was like, oh yeah, I kind of only said that because I wanted to make you happy. I don't have any money or time. Red flag number 4, maybe 5, I don't know. I was like, okay, fine, like, you don't have to. It's just weird that you're telling me that you're gonna do one thing and then you didn't want to in the first place. I was texting him later on and I was just like, is there ever gonna be a time where we can just be on our own? And then out of the blue, I get a text saying, I think we should just be friends. Literally the day before, he was telling me how much he can't stop thinking about me and how he's falling for me. And then 24 hours later, he's telling me he just wants to be friends. So I said that to him and I was just like, I was so confused right now. And he's like, yeah, I think we're better off just friends. Like, it's too complicated. So I text India, I'm so upset. And she comes and picks me up. We go to her house. And basically, I'm quite embarrassed of the fact that I was crying, but I was in tears. I was very upset. And she was like, do you know what? I think Alex is about to end things with me as well because he's been acting really weird. And we were both like, that's really weird that they'd be ending things on the same day. Red flag number 100. We were watching Bridget Jones' Diary. I was eating chocolate and crying. It was the best thing ever. And India gets a text saying, I think we should just be friends. And at this point, we're just like, are you kidding me? So fast forward 2 days and I get a text from Connor saying, do you want to come over? No, I do not. I tell him that and he again tries to flirt with me. Again, I get really confused. And while he's trying to text me, I get a call from India. And she proceeds to tell me that she has found out through some mutual friends why this whole time the two have been acting so weird. Turns out Whenever they'd be together, they would swap phones so that I was talking to Alex, one of my best friends, and Connor was talking to India, and they would try and text us the most embarrassing, cringiest stuff ever as a joke to embarrass the other person. This whole thing has been a joke. One massive joke. All the dates, everything they told us, wanting to be with us when we went to uni, was a massive joke, and they were laughing about it the whole time. You know when you get so angry that you laugh? And that's what I did. I just laughed. I feel like that's all you can do in this situation. And so I told Connor that I knew the reason. His excuse was, I didn't think you'd like me that much. What I would like to be able to say is I went to uni and never saw him again, but of course I come home on holidays, so I do see him, and me hating him does not stop him from texting me, asking me to come round to spend time with him. So this is not where the story ends. A couple of weeks later, one of our mutual friends from our group passed away in a car crash. And Alex was very good friends with him, and he was very upset, obviously. So I thought I would put my anger aside and be there for one of my closest friends. So I spent time with him. We went to like this, was it a memorial? It was like this thing in the field, and we released balloons and stuff like that. It was really nice, and I was so nice to him. He never apologized for what he did, but at that point I didn't feel like I was putting my own feelings to the side to be there for him. A couple of weeks later, we were all out, we were drinking, and Alex had the audacity to text India asking if he could stay at her house after a night out, if he could come back with us. She said that's fine. She had brought back a boy. I went into the guest bedroom by myself because I wanted the double bed. And I'm like drifting asleep, and I hear the door open, and I'm just like, who's that? And it's Alex, and he wants to get into bed with me. What? And he's like, yeah, like I don't want to sleep on the couch. And I just went off on him. Like, all of the emotions I'd put aside came out, and I was screaming at him. Just the audacity he had to try and crawl into bed with me after everything that he did is what gets me the most. So, moral of the story is red flags. Whether there's 5 or 500, you should really take them seriously. I didn't. I now have trust issues. But in the end, I think me and India are doing far more better in life than they are. So that's all that matters. What I actually found out later on was the hill that they took us to was a well-known dogging site. Oh, red flag. How many are they? So, moral of the story, do not ignore the red flags. However much you like someone, just don't ignore them. So, thank you guys for watching. I hope you found my train wreck of a love life entertaining to listen to. Let me know what you think down below. Has anything like that happened to you before? And keep tuned for more videos.